Okay, it's recording.
Is it too dark? Does it look pretty good? Hi Mommies, my name is Zania. Welcome back to my channel. You are watching another spicy Mami Vlogmas video. I am actually back with another recipe and another cocktail. You guys actually really seem to love my last video where I did the jalapeno popper dip and the cran pomegranate margarita. I decided why not come back with another little sip and dip moment. For this video, what I'm gonna be making is actually gonna be some spinach artichoke dip. This recipe actually requires a little bit more ingredients than my last one. At least I feel like it was a little bit more ingredients, but it is even easier than the last recipe because it is a crock pot recipe. Crock pot recipes are just super convenient because it's one of those things where you kind of get to get everything started, go about your day getting other stuff done, and then coming back to it. This recipe is gonna make a lot bigger portion. You'll be able to feed a lot more people with this one, but since it requires more ingredients, I felt like it was just more worth making a bigger serving. Like if you're gonna have friends over, maybe getting here at different times and you want something or a little appetizer that's available to them just kind of throughout the night, this is the perfect dip for that. And the cocktail for today will be my first time making it. I feel like it just kind of makes it fun because then I get to try new cocktails with you guys. But the food, like the dips, I have basically, didn't come up with the recipe on my own, but from the times that I've made it, I've tweaked certain things that I feel like just work better and just adapt it better for my home. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring you guys on over and show you exactly what it is that goes into the dip. The seasonings that you're gonna need half a teaspoon of red chili flake, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a fourth of a teaspoon of salt, and a fourth of a teaspoon of black pepper. You are also gonna need half a cup of milk. Any kind of milk will do. And I mean as in whole or 2% or whatever. I'm not sure, you could substitute this for something else. But if you're lactose, this isn't the recipe for you anyways. You're also going to need 8 ounces of sour cream. So one of these little containers is 8 ounces exactly. You're gonna need, I would say, about a 1/5 or a 1/6, not a lot, of chopped yellow onion. Make sure that it's chopped finely and don't overdo it because the onion could be overpowering. You're also going to need 8 to 10 ounces of spinach, frozen spinach for this recipe. I want it to be thawed, and then I put it inside of a paper towel and I squeeze it over the sink because you want all of the liquid to be out. So you want it to be thawed and drained very well. Then you want a pack of cream cheese. And I actually cut it up into smaller squares just so that the melting process happens faster. This is quartered artichoke hearts. Drain them, and then I also chop them up into smaller, maybe 1/4 inch pieces. This is 13.75 ounces. You're also going to need 2/3 of a cup of Parmesan cheese and half a cup of mozzarella cheese. Per usual, cocktail ingredients back here just waiting for us. Now we're gonna move on to the fun part, get the dip going. There's nothing complicated about this. You essentially just take everything and you dump it in there, okay? But I'm gonna do it one thing at a time. You are gonna need a crock pot if you wanna do it this way, but I have in the past, I'll insert a picture in here, created it in those same containers that I've used, that I used with the last dip that I showed you guys, and I put it in the oven and it works just the same. I just wanted to present it like this and this option because, like I said, if you're entertaining for the holidays, this is a better alternative. You get to keep it warm. Anyways, the cream cheese is in here. We're gonna go now with the Parmesan, dump the mozzarella cheese in there as well. Then we're gonna go ahead and dump the milk in there. We're gonna move on to the sour cream. It's a brand new package, but you know how it gets that, like, the liquid kind of that forms at the top. I hate that, so I'm gonna dump it. All right. Now we're gonna dump the onion in here. All right. Then we're gonna dump the spinach. And then we're gonna dump the artichoke hearts. Then we're gonna dump all of our seasonings on top. I like to kind of mix them up prior and just dump it right on top. I wish I could center this, but my cord isn't long enough. Basically mix it all together, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. A little note, which I forgot to mention, so as you're prepping everything, set it on low heat already because it is gonna cook on low, just so it starts to get warm and it's pretty much at its full temperature when you dump everything in here, and it'll just make the cooking process even faster. It smells so good already. Everything's already starting to melt. RJ and I went to this restaurant, I don't even remember what it was called, and we ordered their spinach artichoke dip, and it was so delicious. Came with like little pieces of shredded chicken in it, and it was so good. If you happen to have like chicken breast or something like that, like as leftovers, maybe don't add it in right now because you don't want it to be super overcooked. Add it in closer to the end and mix it all together because that would be really, really good as well. That's kind of how I came across this recipe because I loved it so much, and I was like, I just need to figure out how to make it myself. And then I went on Pinterest and then I found a recipe. The first time I made it, because the original recipe calls for a whole yellow onion chopped in here, you could taste the onion a lot and I didn't like how overpowering it was. So that's why now I know that like a fourth of the onion is more than enough. You can also sub out the onion by just using some onion powder. I don't have an exact measurement, pero ahí le tanteas. So that way it'll still give it the flavor without having the little chunks of onion in there, you know? Let me show you guys what it looks like in here, and then I'm gonna clean up and bring our cocktail stuff over, and we're gonna get started with that. So this is exactly what the spinach dip looks like in here right now. I'm about to cover it, put the lid on, and then we're gonna come over here to our settings, and we're gonna set this on for 2 hours. I think it might cook faster, so I'll let you guys know. I'll report back at the end. Like the fact that I had it, you know, set on low heat prior to even dumping everything in there is just gonna help it go faster. So at the end, I will tell you guys the adjusted cook time. Every 30 minutes, you need to come and mix it all together so that it doesn't stick or anything like that, and all the ingredients just really fully mesh and melt together. Let's get started with the cocktail. So the cocktail for this one is kind of like a wine meets a mimosa. You guys know I've been on the Stella Rosa, and I don't know, is it Stella Rosa or Stella Rose? Everybody says Stella Rose, but I mean, technically it's Stella Rosa. If you know what the correct way to say it is, comment down below because I'm not sure. Anyway, so you're gonna need, I'm gonna call it for what it says on the label, which is Stella Rosa, and it's the red one. I've had it before by itself. Then you're gonna need some grenadine. I'm running kind of low. You're gonna need some strawberries, and I went with some frozen ones, but I actually let them thaw out a little bit so that I can cut them up into smaller pieces. You know, ice for your drink without watering it down. You're also gonna need some orange juice, so I went with this one. I actually decided to get the one with no pulp because I didn't know how it was gonna, you know, be with the pulp. And the orange, I'm not sure because I'm still trying to decide how I'm gonna garnish it. So I think that's where the orange might come in. Stella Rosa put these little cocktail ideas together, and so they recommended this combo, so we're gonna give it a try. You know, the spinach artichoke dip, it's a little bit more like classy, a little bit more sophisticated of a dip, you know, and I just thought wine was the perfect pairing. All that you're gonna need is some of the wine. I'm doing a little bit of a different glass, not your regular wine glass. So let's just say about halfway with wine. Then they said add a splash of grenadine. I think just for balance, you know, since we're adding orange juice. That should be enough. What's it, like an ounce? So about like a shot glass worth, I would say. Now let's cut up some of these strawberries. So I feel like 2 strawberries is a good amount. I still need one of those mixing things. Let's cut the orange. That's cute, right? Can you guys see it? Because of the color, you know, Christmas vibes. This drink is gonna be called Mrs. Claus. I'm just gonna use this knife. Make sure none of the grenadine is just sitting at the bottom. And it looks super cute, you know, for presentation. You could probably just dump it in there so it's not like hitting you as you're drinking. This is really good, and this could get really dangerous because this wine is already very easy to go down. But this like becomes more like a mimosa. I'm not much of a champagne kind of gal, so mimosas aren't really like my go-to ever, but I can do this. If you want a little bit sweeter, you can get those little frozen tubs of strawberries that come in that syrup, so they're a little bit sweeter, and you can dump them in here. I'm gonna make RJ a drink. Let's check the time on here. So it's almost been 30 minutes. So since I have you guys here on camera right now, where did I leave the spoon? I'm gonna open it up and get it all stirred. Oh my gosh, you guys, it smells so good. And I'm gonna be honest, definitely go for warming this up prior to dumping everything in, because I think it might take only an hour. Like, it's already all fully melted pretty much. You just want everything to really infuse together. So I'm gonna leave it for at least an hour. This time I'm perfectly prepared. I do have the sourdough baguette. The artichoke spinach dip actually is only gonna take about an hour. Like, it's fully done at this point, and you could see there is still an hour and 2 minutes remaining. I'm just gonna put it on warm now. I'm gonna cut up some of this sourdough baguette, and then we're gonna taste it.
This is really good. If it was colder?
Yeah, I think if it was cold, like definitely for the drink, a little side note, keep the wine in the fridge for a few hours before you make it, because the strawberry, like the frozen strawberry bits helped, but it could be colder. Show you guys what this looks like. Can you see? I think I just have to bring you guys over here. I feel like I'm giving very like server waitress vibes with like the white and like the hair in a bun and this apron. So here's the spinach artichoke dip with a little bit of the sourdough baguette. This dip does not look the prettiest, okay? So the other one still looked prettier, but I swear, like the taste, the smell, they're there, okay? You need to try it. I feel like I could literally sit here and eat this whole entire thing. I mean, it has vegetables. I'm getting my servings, right? 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. I made a second. That's gone. It does have the red chili flakes, remember, but you can sprinkle more on top if you want a little bit of an extra kick at the end. You know what, matter of fact, let's add some right now. These sleeves remind me of like Selena because of her pants, you know, the purple suit. Okay, mommy, so that is gonna wrap up this video. I hope that you go ahead and you try this recipe for the dip, and also let me know if you try the cocktail, okay? It's a very quick and easy way to elevate your wine. Just kick it up a notch and make it, you know, a little bit more extra. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below what other cocktails or recipes you want to see me try. Remember, mommy, stay spicy, stay positive. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace. This is exquisite. Chef's kiss.